That's not new, but it was severely exacerbated by the pandemic, coupled with the fact that we now have more nurses retiring. We have individuals living longer. We have more chronic disease that we're seeing. And certainly the Great Resignation played a significant impact.
The nursing profession is facing a highly uncertain future, says the National Council of State Boards of Nursing.
100,000 nurses left the workforce during the pandemic due to burnout, poor working conditions, and they anticipate an additional 600,000 to leave by the year 2027 for those very reasons, in addition to retirements.
The solution, Birdie says, needs to be multifaceted.
And those really entail safety, nurses in particular, improving patient access to quality care, and then strengthening the workforce and investing for the future.
And when considering the future of nursing over the next 10 years,
we need to brace ourselves for continued shortages of nursing, and as hospital and healthcare administrators, we need to be looking creatively at solutions that we can implement for the short term and certainly for the long term.
I'm Stephen Kaufman.
Nurses, often unsung heroes in our hurtful world. America in the Morning for Friday, June 30th, 2023 is produced by Alexander Hinton. Our senior producer is Kevin Delaney. I'm John Trout. This is Westwood One.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control of your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problem now by calling the experts at U.S. Tax Shield and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, so call now. 800-785-9132. That's 800-785-9132. U.S. Tax Shield. 800-785-9132.
The North Peninsula's news. The North Peninsula's talk. Newsradio KONP, Port Angeles Squim, a Radio Pacific station.
From ABC News, I'm Derek Dennis. More big decisions today from the Supreme Court. A new round of opinions released in the next hour after yesterday's decisions striking down affirmative action in college admissions, student loan forgiveness, and LGBTQ rights on tap today. 23 states with elevated air quality index levels due to drifting Canadian wildfire smoke, clouds of it headed east.
New York State issuing an air quality alert. Governor Kathy Hochul.
Air quality is unhealthy in every corner of the state of New York.
The air quality index in the red reaching over 150 in some parts of the state. Hochul urging residents to keep an eye on the air quality index.
Before you plan your outdoor activities, know what the numbers are, know what precautions you can take.
Dave Packer, ABC News.
Also in New York, in a Long Island courtroom, embattled Congressman George Santos indicted on 13 counts of fraud, money laundering, and theft of public funds. He's pleaded not guilty to the charges, but has previously admitted to lying about his resume and personal story. The weekend travel rush is on ahead of the 4th of July holiday. ABC's Gio Benitez at Newark Airport in New Jersey.
It's been a wild week of travel, and today is going to be a busy one. Right now, though, cancellations are looking a whole lot better than they have all week long. That's good news, but some travelers are still feeling the pain.
And how are the roads?
If you're leaving today, you want to go before 10 a.m. or wait until after 6 p.m. because we have a giant window in the middle of the day, a 7-hour stretch from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. That's going to be the busiest window for travel today. Now, tomorrow gets a little bit easier. You want to try to take off before noon. The worst, though, is going to be at 1. And naturally, the heaviest congestion is going to be in your major metro areas, Boston, Seattle, Washington, D.C.
ABC's Trevor Ault. The last living sibling of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. has died. Christine King Farris joined her brother in the 1965 March for Voting Rights in Alabama. Dr. King's older sister was 95. You're listening to ABC News.
Uh-oh, Brad's buzzed.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's starting with the woots. And now a speech.
I just want to say that friendship is about heart and brain.
Who's with me?
Good thing is, he knows when he's buzzed.
And my brain is saying, when it's time to go home, somebody call me a ride.
Love that guy.
Me too.
Know your buzzed warning signs? Call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
He might not have a badge, but we have faith in his killer instinct. Celebrate the 10th anniversary of famed detective priest, Father Brown. Stream the new season now, only on BritBox.
That sounds like a marvellous plan.
Plus, watch even more unofficial detectives in much-loved series, including Agatha Christie's Marple, Murder in Provence, and more. Expect intriguing mystery. Expect the Undetectives. Start streaming today at BritBox.com.
French President Emmanuel Macron urging parents to keep teens at home after a third night of violent protests. Demonstrations triggered by the deadly police shooting of a teenager on Tuesday. Macron calling that shooting inexcusable.
Prosecutors have now put the officer who allegedly pulled the trigger under formal investigation for voluntary homicide. President Macron calling the shooting of the teenager inexcusable. Racial injustice is a driving factor behind the protests, but many French commentators believe the cost of living crisis is fueling things too.
ABC's Tom Soufi Burridge outside Paris. The latest revelations in the corruption trial of Israel's prime minister giving Benjamin Netanyahu and his lawyers some grounds for optimism amid growing reports of a possible plea deal.
A sign of trouble for prosecutors, but hope for Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. In newly released court transcripts from his corruption trial, the judges telling the state it will be, quote, difficult to prove the bribery charge, suggesting it be dropped. But the lead prosecutor refusing to abandon the most serious allegation against Netanyahu that carries jail time, that he gave millions in regulatory perks to a media giant in return for flattering press coverage. Jordana Miller, ABC News, Jerusalem.
A name change for Overstock. The online retailer will now go by Bed Bath & Beyond, buying the bankrupt brand's name for $21 million. This is ABC News.
Uh-oh, Brad's buzzed.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's starting with the woots. And now a speech.
I just want to say that friendship is about heart and brain. Who's with me?
Good thing is, he knows when he's buzzed.
And my brain is saying, when it's time to go home, somebody call me a ride.
Love that guy.
Me too.
Know your buzzed warning signs? Call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
I'm Derek Dennis, ABC News.
This is the Peninsula's Morning News.
Good morning. You're listening to News Radio KONP, Port Angeles Squim. It is Friday, June 30th. My name is Amanda Bacon, filling in for Todd Ortloff this morning. Here's what's making news. On Wednesday night at about 10:30, the Clallam County Sheriff's Office was dispatched to a report of a possible homicide in Clallam Bay. Responding deputies found the body of 39-year-old Charlotte Lopez inside a travel trailer. Indications are that she died from a gunshot wound. An autopsy is pending. A suspect on the property was identified, and investigators developed probable cause for the arrest of 55-year-old Cipriano Ojeda Ibarra, who was booked into Clallam County Jail for murder in the second degree. He is believed to be the victim's stepfather. The Major Incident Response Team was activated to respond and assist with the investigation. This includes investigators not only from the Clallam County Sheriff's Office, but Port Angeles Police, Squim Police, Lower Elwha Clallam Tribal Police, and the Washington State Patrol. Search warrants have been obtained, so detailed processing of the scene can be conducted, and interviews of witnesses are continuing. Washington State Patrol Lab Crime Scene Response Team is responding to assist with the scene. The Clallam County Prosecutor's Office and Coroner's Office are also participating in the response. Startup air shuttle company Dash Air expects to be using their aircraft for limited charter service starting in mid-July and into early August. Company President Clint Osler said in an email that they plan to launch a limited schedule of regular flights to SeaTac on August 11th. Osler said they are still waiting on an official decision from the DOT following last year's complaints to the U.S. Department of Transportation from Kenmore Air, claiming unfair competition. He said, in the meantime, they are going to follow the guidelines for their type of operation, quote, if we didn't have an intrastate operating restriction. Osler said they've had a few meetings with the DOT since May, illustrating their operation is no different than Kenmore Air prior to them receiving DOT authority, and cited 4 other airlines that operated in a similar fashion. He said they're hopeful they can get a favorable decision by the end of summer. And someone threw an explosive into one of the toilets at Erickson Playfield Wednesday and destroyed it, so the bathrooms are closed for repair. That's only one of what city officials are calling a rash of vandalism in public restrooms just since school got out. Parks and Rec Director Corey Delicott says he and city workers in that same bathroom doing maintenance just minutes before the explosion.
We were probably there for 2-3 hours yesterday, and then after they left, 20 minutes later, we got a call about the explosion of the toilet. So I believe we've got hit again today in another restroom somewhere in town. I'm not sure where, but it's one of those things that happens every year, and the reason why we close our restrooms at noon on 4th of July, because one year we had, I want to say, between 14 to 17 toilets blown up, and so that's the reason why we do that on the 4th of July.
Portable toilets will be used in the park until repairs can be made. Coincidentally, Delicott says they were going to close those bathrooms for remodeling over the holiday weekend anyway, while the Lincoln Park BMX folks do some repairs on the pump track. But that doesn't excuse what has become an expensive annual issue around the 4th of July. We'll be back with more news right after this.
Welcome to Volunteer Spotlight, sponsored this time by Brown's Outdoor. This is Alan Barnard, and this Volunteer Spotlight shines on the Clallam County Sheriff's Office Volunteer Bike Patrol. The purpose of this bike patrol on the Olympic Discovery Trail is to observe and report suspicious or criminal behavior, report safety issues or damage, and assist trail users. Established in 2019, the volunteer bike teams have made a real difference in maintaining a safe trail and increasing the use of this valuable asset to our community. Volunteers are the heart of our community, and that's why the Sheriff's Department Olympic Discovery Trail Patrol deserves this volunteer spotlight. If you know a person or group you feel deserves this spotlight, email info@radio-pacific.com and we'll contact you. It's said that service is the rent we pay for our space on Earth. This volunteer spotlight is brought to you by Brown's Outdoor, serving your family for over 100 years.
Stick out your tongue and say, ah, it's the craziest thing you ever saw. Here at Olympic Game Farm, they say howdy with a wave of a paw. Now it's hard to steer clear of the elk and the deer when they pop in to say hello. They've got lions and tigers and bears. Don't forget about the buffalo. It's impossible to stay calm. So come out with your dad and your mom. Canine and feline, you'll find us online at onlygamefarm.com.
In other news, a 34-year-old Port Angeles man was indicted Wednesday by a federal grand jury for 2 counts of sexual abuse of a minor. The man has been detained since his arrest on June 15th. According to records filed in the case, in April and June of last year, the suspect met up with a 15-year-old who he had communicated with on social media. In the first encounter, he is alleged to have sexually molested the teen. In the second encounter, carrying a machete and a pocket knife, he allegedly raped the youth. The 15-year-old cut off all communication with the suspect and ultimately reported his conduct to a healthcare provider. An investigation by the U.S. Park Service determined the alleged assaults took place on a portion of Olympic National Park land where federal courts have jurisdiction. Sexual abuse of a minor is punishable by up to 15 years in prison. The charges contained in the indictment are only allegations, so KONP has elected not to release the suspect's name. A portion of the Olympic Discovery Trail will be closed for repair and maintenance beginning 8 a.m. on Monday, July 17th, and continuing through 4 p.m. on Friday, July 21st. During that time, the trail will be closed from Four Seasons Ranch to Rainier Access Road. The repair work will address about 20 yards of failed trail armoring milepost 4, which leaves the trail susceptible to erosion during winter storms. A semi-truck driver was hit and killed by two suspects fleeing Lakewood police officers early Thursday morning. Officers made contact with a vehicle suspected in a Tacoma burglary overnight around 5:30 a.m. Thursday and attempted a traffic stop. The suspect vehicle sped off and 10 to 15 seconds later crashed into a semi-truck. The driver of the semi was ejected and landed on the I-5 freeway below the overpass. Life-saving measures were attempted by first responders, but the driver was declared dead at the hospital. The two juvenile suspects had been extracted from the vehicle and were taken to a local hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Police are investigating whether the same two suspects were involved in a separate King County robbery earlier in the night. With the 4th of July in a couple of days, Harborview Medical Center in Seattle, where most serious injury patients from all over our region are flown, is getting ready for firework-related injuries. According to the Harborview Medical Center's emergency department, in recent years, they have seen an average of 65 patients admitted because of firework-related injuries around the 4th of July. The department's medical director said they normally see two types of injuries, and large number of them, injuries to the face and the eyes, and injuries to people's hands. Officials there urge people to just go to a public fireworks show rather than lighting them yourselves. However, for those intent to celebrate among themselves, they urge that you avoid consuming alcohol and to use them responsibly and legally. And if you would like to see a fantastic fireworks show, there are two for your viewing pleasure this year. Sequim and Port Angeles both offering you fantastic firework displays. If you happen to be watching them and you're near your radio, tune in to Newsradio KONP, both in Sequim and Port Angeles, Sequim 101.3 and Port Angeles 101.7 FM, and listen to the fireworks soundtrack.
What's better than clean floors? New clean floors. It's summertime, and that means summer sales at TJ's Flooring. Done better and priced better, sale or no sale, the pros at TJ's get the job done right. The first time. Their professional expertise and skill help bring your vision to life. Those old floors do need a revamp, and maybe you just don't know exactly what you want. But Tom at TJ's can help. Let him guide you through the process and pick out the flooring right for you. Are you driving right now? If you are, drive yourself right on over to TJ's, because as we speak, you could be picking out brand new hardwood, laminate, luxury vinyl plank, or carpet. You could be scheduling that install for next week. You could be watching the team at TJ's completing installation right now. And you could already be another satisfied TJ's Flooring customer. So what are you waiting for? Give them a call today. 360-670-5188, or stop on by. TJ's Flooring, East Highway 101 and Monroe Road in Port Angeles.
Looking for a career that can take you to new heights? Look no further than Olympic Medical Center. OMC offers a wide range of career opportunities to help you grow and advance in your chosen field. At Olympic Medical Center, you can explore new areas of healthcare, gain valuable experience, and take advantage of ongoing training and education. Why wait? Take the first step towards an exciting new career with OMC today. Discover your next steps at olympicmedical.org/discover.
All Weather Heating and Cooling is your Mitsubishi authorized dealer. Mitsubishi electric heating and cooling systems offer efficient individual room control with allergen filtration, no ductwork, and dramatic energy savings. Mitsubishi Heating and Cooling Systems. Live better. Contact All Weather Heating and Cooling today.
Here's your Newsradio KONP forecast. Partly cloudy skies today with a high of 65. Northwesterly winds 10 to 15 miles an hour. Lows level off around 51 tonight. Mainly clear skies. Mainly clear skies and quiet again tomorrow. Daytime highs approaching 65. That's a look at your forecast, powered by weatherology.com. I'm Derek Height. Currently, it's 53 degrees.
From ABC Sports, this is Rich Cantu. The Dodgers look to gain ground on the surging Diamondbacks in the NL West after Arizona's 6-1 defeat at the hands of the Rays earlier on Thursday, and did so in emphatic fashion, led by 4 hits by the NL's designated hitter in the upcoming All-Star game, J.D. Martinez.
Here's 2-1, and a fly ball to right. Now hitting on back, it is gone.
The call on AM 570, LA Sports. Homer number 301 of his career. The Dodgers thumped the Rockies 14-3. The Astros would put up 14 runs of their own at the expense of the Cardinals, thanks to a 3-hit night by Alex Bregman.
The 2-1. And Bregman hits it well and hits it deep to left field. Walker is going back, looking up. Grand slam!
The call on KBME. Kyle Tucker added 5 RBI of his own. The Astros shut out the Cards 14-0. This is ABC Sports. More on the All-Star starters. Sean Murphy will start at catcher for the National League, with Freddie Freeman, Luis Arias, Orlando Arcia, and Nolan Arenado filling out the infield. And Ronald Acuna Jr., Corbin Carroll, and Mookie Betts in the outfield. For the junior circuit, Yandy Diaz will be at first alongside a near-full Rangers infield. Semien, Seager, Young, and Heim being selected, with Mike Trout, Randy Arozarena, and Aaron Judge taking up posts in the outfield. Ohtani will DH and possibly start on the mound for the American League. Back to the on-the-diamond action. The Blue Jays hosting the Giants. Vladdy Guerrero Jr. getting his home run derby practice swings in early.
The 2-2. Swinging a high fly ball. Out to deep left field. Peterson back at the wall. Goodbye!
The call on Sportsnet 590. Blue Jays win 2-1. Phillies at Cubs. First pitch of the game.
Delivers his first pitch, and it swung on and blasted right field corner, and this ball is going to be gone. It clears, and it's a leadoff homer for Schwarber on the first pitch of the night.
As heard on 94 WIP, Phillies win 3-1, sweeping the 3-game set in Chicago. NBA news, James Harden has exercised his player option with the Sixers for next season, as both sides seek a trade for the former MVP. Harrison Barnes and the Kings agreed on a 3-year, $54 million extension. This is Rich Cantu, ABC Sports.
Happy 4th of July from the Port of PA, Port Angeles Chamber of Commerce, and a downtown full of great cafes, bars, and restaurants ready to serve you all day on the 4th. Come out and join us for a great day of celebration. Enjoy a delicious meal, a tasty snack, refreshing drink, espresso, craft cocktail, or beer at the many downtown PA establishments ready to serve you.
Visit Lola's Cafe for a coffee or smoothie, Welly's Real Fruit Ice Cream, Fat Yeti Froyo, or a freshly cooked seafood dish at Hook and Line and Cocopelli's, or a sizzling juicy burger at The Rail.
The Port of PA and Port Angeles Chamber of Commerce encourage you to come enjoy some of the best of what downtown Port Angeles has to offer this 4th of July. Don't miss out on the excitement, fun family events, and the great eats in downtown PA on July 4th. Happy Independence Day.
Newsradio KONP Business.
All right, let's get a first check on the markets this morning with our Bloomberg Money Minute.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. The figures are in for May, and the numbers show slightly better than expected personal income and a drop in personal spending. The PCE index, what the Fed is paying close attention to, rose 0.1% in May. From a year ago, the measure stepped down to 3.8%, the smallest annual advance in more than 2 years. The FTC is getting some pushback in its attempt to hold up Microsoft's $69 billion bid to buy Activision Blizzard. A federal judge challenged the agency's argument that the deal would hurt gamers by excluding Activision games from consoles that are sold by rivals. Microsoft has promised that the popular Call of Duty would still be available to Sony consoles if the takeover goes through. And Ford is making a move to save jobs. The company has signed an initial agreement for an investor to take over its Saarlouis automaking plant in Germany. That would secure 2,500 jobs at the site. The factory currently employs some 4,600 people and makes Ford-Focus compact cars. I'm Lisa Mateo, Bloomberg Radio.
All right, let's check that traffic this morning, see what's going on out there as we get ready to start our commute of the last Friday of the month. Brought to us this time by Price Ford.
We've traded clouds for sunshine, and Price Ford is bringing you 0% interest on several of our best-selling vehicles. Hi folks, this is Mark Oster.
And Abigail.
If interest rates are a concern, Price Ford has you covered. New Mustangs are now at 0% APR. That's both the EcoBoost and GT. The new Ford Edge, Escape, and Escape Hybrid, Explorer, F-150 gas trucks, all coming in at 0% APR. Several other programs apply, and the savings is tremendous. Put your interest rate concerns to rest at Price Ford.
Back-to-back winners of the best customer service and best dealership on the peninsula.
Stop in and visit with one of our amazing staff, see what you've been missing, and park a new Ford in your driveway at 0% interest. We've got a lot of incredible inventory to choose from. Hurry in for the best selection. Price Ford, next to Walmart in Port Angeles.
Let me do this part. Always right on the price.
Close enough.
News Radio KONP, traffic and roads.
All right, let's head up to Clallam Transit this morning and check in with our buddy Karen, see what's going on out there. Good morning, Karen.
Good morning. Yeah, we have no reported issues or problems on our roadways in our area at this time. And the Hood Canal Bridge, I'm not able to bring up the website, so I'm not really sure, but I'm assuming it is open to vehicle traffic. All of our Clallam Transit buses, though, are on their regular schedules. And for ferry information, go to your WSDOT website for some real-time info. And have an awesome day. This is Karen, live at Clallam Transit for KONP.
Thank you, Karen. I had not received any alerts yet this morning stating that the bridge was going to be closed to traffic. If you do want to stay up to date, you can log on to myclallamcounty.com. It is now your one-click destination for Olympic Peninsula travel updates. With one click, you'll be connected to a home page where you're going to find the links that you need to plan your travel all summer long, especially with scheduled bridge closures and ferries that aren't always dependable. You're going to want to just log on to myclallamcounty.com and click on the Travel Alerts tab at the top of the page, and we will have all of that information in one spot for you. All right. Well, let's see here. If you have a birthday today, happy birthday. We're so glad you're spending it with us and you made it in just before the end of the month. Way to go. If you have a birthday, you're sharing it with David Allen Greer, who is 67 today. Vincent Dionfario is 64. Mike Tyson is 57. Monica Potter is 52. Lizzie Kaplan is 41. Former Olympic swimmer Michael Phelps is 38. Wrestler Cody Rhodes is 38. And Sean Marquette is 35. Fantasia Barrino is 39. Also, fun days to celebrate today. International Asteroid Day. It's Food Truck Day, and man, our Squim in Port Angeles is going to be ablaze with food trucks on the 4th of July. Love it. It's Drive Your Corvette to Work Day, which, by the way, looking at the forecast, it's going to be a really good day to celebrate that. So you're going to want to take part in that if you have one. It is Outfit of the Day, National Organization for Women Day, and Social Media Day. So if you have a really, really special outfit that you want to show off, take it to social media and celebrate 2 days in one. Thanks for sticking around this morning on Peninsula's Morning News here on News Radio KONP. Again, my name is Amanda Bacon, filling in for Todd Ortloff today. We've got lots more coming up, including some more sports, some more weather, some more news, and, in the next hour, I've got some really good prizes to give away, so stick around.
Now, the Success Journal. Here's Chris Whitting.
A businessman named Al loved to watch happy kids at play. The reason? Al ran a struggling toy company. He was trying to find the secret recipe behind top toys. One thing he noticed, kids love to imitate grown-ups. And what kid hasn't watched wide-eyed as mom or dad cook up a delicious treat at the kitchen stove? So, Al went to his workshop and built a kid-sized stove that really worked. Soon, kids everywhere were hot to own one. Maybe your kids own one of those toy stoves, or you had one as a kid. It's a product that really cooks. What was Al Steiner's creation? The Easy Bake Oven. It sold by the millions and helped his company, Kenner, cook up $1 million toy treasury. With the Success Journal, I'm Chris Whitting.
Ray Magliozzi here for eBay Motors. Okay, easy now. You're teaching your kid how to parallel park. Ouch! Turns out he likes to do it by feel. Don't worry, eBay Motors has bumpers, taillights, trunk lids, license plate holders, 122 million parts. Pull up just a little bit. And headlights. They've got lots of headlights. Get the right parts at the right prices. eBay Motors. Let's ride.
Blue Star Medicated Ointment gets 5-star reviews from our loyal users for fast relief of the pain and itch of almost any skin irritation.
Blue Star soothes insect bites and fungal infections.
It really works on the summer rashes I get every year.
I had psoriasis on my elbows. Blue Star worked wonders.
Amazing stuff. Smear a bit on and the itch is gone.
Look for the white box with the Blue Star in the first aid section. Feel Blue Star work fast, or your money back.
It's baseball season, and now that many of us are watching from home, you'll want those snacks on hand when the hunger strikes. Mount Pleasant IGS is your Mariners snack headquarters. With hot, fresh deli food like Drake's Take and Bake Pizza, egg rolls, corn dogs, and burritos, just to name a few. You'll be all set to get through the game and maybe even skip cooking dinner. Grab an ice-cold beverage or even some of the adult variety to finish off the inning. Mount Pleasant IGS, your neighborhood country store since 1959.
Kick off your 4th of July festivities with fireworks of savings right now at Coastal.
Coastal Farm and Ranch, we're just what the country needs.
Celebrate America's independence and your right to save money during the 4th of July sale at Coastal. That includes 25% off Noble Outfitters apparel for men and women. Save $300 on a Kodiak 42 gun safe and save money on Nutrina feed, workwear from Carhartt and Dickies, as well as Wrangler women's tops and bottoms at Coastal. Plus, check out your home heating options with savings up to 20% on gas stoves and inserts from Heat and Glow, Quadrifire, and Vermont Castings. Sign up to win a trip for 2 to the 23 Wrangler National Finals Rodeo during the Coastal 60th anniversary celebration. Stop by or sign up to win at coastalcountry.com.
Coastal Farm and Ranch, we're just what the country needs.
Serving Clallam County from Bell Creek Plaza in Sequim.
Bring wellness home from the Northwest's largest factory direct hot tub and swim spa liquidation. Northwest Spas Direct gigantic spa show in Sequim. Massive savings. Up to $15,000 on 300 coast spas. Hot tubs from $49.99. Swim spas from $19,999. Everything must go. And Sunday, look for the Big Tent at 651 West Washington Street in Sequim. The former JCPenney store. Open till 7 p.m. tonight. NWSpasDirect.com. NWSpasDirect.com.
For the Washington State News Network, I'm Lance Tormey. Traveling this 4th of July, nearly 51 million people in the United States are projected to travel over the 4th of July holiday weekend. According to AAA, they say that's the highest number on record for Americans traveling by car and air over the Independence Day holiday weekend. Serving fruit for the 4th, in the past couple of weeks, 4 different companies have issued recalls to their fruit due to possible contamination. The recalls affect many stores all across the United States, including Washington and Oregon. Luckily, in these 4 particular recalls, there have been no health issues reported. National Weather Service Fire Weather Watch in effect Saturday for low humidity and hot temps. Be careful with anything that could start a fire in Washington State. State Fire Assistance has been mobilized in support of local firefighters working to contain the Moran Creek fire located in Stevens County near the town of Arden. Level 2, Level 3 evacuation notices have been issued as that fire threatened homes and businesses on Thursday. Murder and attempted murder. The charges filed against a man who police say killed a pregnant woman during a mental crisis in Seattle earlier this month. Cordell Gooseby is charged with fatal shooting of 34-year-old Iana Kwan. Her husband survived. The baby girl died after an emergency surgery. For more on these and other stories, download the WSNN mobile app or visit WashingtonStateNews.net.
If you came across someone struggling with hunger, how would you recognize them? By their clothes, their age, the way they speak? Would you notice an 8-year-old girl who's not excited for summer break
because she may not be having lunch again until September?
Or a single father of 2 who works 3
part-time jobs and still can't put enough food on the table?
Or maybe a mother who cleans offices at night,
hoping to find meeting leftovers to take home to her hungry family.
Or a war veteran who's having a hard time landing
a job and getting back on his feet.
I am the 1 in 8 Americans who struggle with hunger. People you pass by every day but never knew were hungry. I am hunger in America.
Hunger can be hard to recognize, Learn why at IamHungerInAmerica.org. Brought to you by Feeding America, 200 Food Banks Strong, and the Ad Council.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. The Supreme Court set to release a ruling that has religious rights at its core. The case of Colorado graphic design artist Lori Smith. Citing her Christian faith, she refuses to design wedding websites for same-sex couples. The High Court decision to be released this morning. Vermont, U.S. Senator Bernie Sanders pressing for a vote next week on Senate Bill 1339, legislation that Sanders claims will lower prescription drug prices. But Tom Schatz, president of the nonpartisan group Citizens Against Government Waste, contends the Sanders bill is a wolf in sheep's clothing.
It's another of Senator Bernie Sanders' efforts to have the government take over health care, eliminate choices, increase prices, impose price controls. He's been talking about it for a long time, and this is one of those bills that every sane fiscal conservative member of Congress and taxpayers across the country should vehemently oppose.
More information on Senate Bill 1339 can be found on the website lowermydrugprices.com. The heat wave that's killed at least 14 people in Texas and Louisiana, expected to be centered over the Mid-South by the weekend.
David Roth, forecaster with the National Weather Service, says it's only going to get hotter.
The kind of weather you want to stay indoors or be in an air-conditioned place or drink lots of water.
Heat index levels of up to 112 degrees are forecast in parts of Florida over the next few days. Phoenix, the hottest large city in America, faces an excessive heat warning headed into the weekend. Dangerously hot conditions are expected from Saturday through Tuesday, including temperatures of 107 to 115 degrees across south central Arizona. I'm Donna Warder.
Looks like we're headed for a higher open this morning on Wall Street. The Dow futures up 159 points. NASDAQ futures ahead 138. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Factor pain relief that's natural, pain relief that works, and pain relief that attacks the source of the pain. That's the experience of tens of thousands of Americans who are taking Relief Factor right now. See their incredible video endorsements at relieffactor.com and then order your 3-week quick starter pack for just $19.95. That's less than $1 a day. Find out if it can work for you like it works for me by ordering your 3-week quick starter pack today. relieffactor.com, relieffactor.com. Be the next success story.
You can host the best backyard barbecue when you find a professional on Angie to make your backyard the best around. Connect with skilled professionals to get all your home projects done well. Inside to outside, repairs to renovations. Get started on the Angie app or visit Angie.com today. You can do this when you Angie that.
The UN General Assembly votes to set up an independent body to determine what happened to more than 130,000 people missing as a result of the conflict in Syria.
The resolution, an important response to appeals by families and loved ones, was adopted by the 193-member world body on a vote of 83 to 11, with 6-2 abstentions. Among those opposing the resolution was Syria, which says it will not cooperate with the new plan, and other nations, including Russia and China. The resolution is to establish an independent institution of missing persons in the Syrian Arab Republic under UN auspices to, the UN says, clarify the fate and whereabouts of all missing persons and to provide adequate support to victims, survivors and families of those missing. I'm Charles de la Tasman.
The French president urging parents to keep teens at home in a bid to quell violent protest following the fatal shooting of a 17-year-old by police. Townhall.com. A wanted man arrested near the D.C. home of former President Obama.
Taylor Taranto was arrested on a fugitive charge on an existing arrest warrant. According to Washington, D.C. police, Taranto has a warrant related to his alleged involvement in the January 6th Capitol riot. At the time of his arrest, he allegedly had guns and ammunition in his car and also reportedly had materials to make a Molotov cocktail. Taranto reportedly made comments on social media suggesting he had weapons. However, he never directly threatened the former president or mentioned his name. Law enforcement sources said Taranto did not get past any checkpoints at the Obama residence. Bill Alexander, Washington.
Former Florida Sheriff's Deputy Scott Peterson found not guilty of failing to act During the 2018 Parkland High School massacre, he had faced felony child neglect and other charges. More on these stories at townhall.com.
This is the Peninsula's Morning News.
Good morning. You're listening to Newsradio KONP, Port Angeles, Sequim. My name is Amanda Bacon, filling in for Todd this morning. Here's what's making news. On Wednesday night at about 10:30, the Clallam County Sheriff's Office was dispatched to a report of a possible homicide in Clallam Bay. Responding deputies found the body of 39-year-old Charlotte Lopez inside a travel trailer. Indications are she died from a gunshot wound. An autopsy is pending. A suspect on the property was identified, and investigators developed probable cause for the arrest of 55-year-old Cipriano Ojeda Ibarra, who was booked into Clallam County Jail for murder in the second degree. He is believed to be the victim's stepfather. The Major Incident Response Team was activated to respond and assist with the investigation. This includes investigators not only from the Clallam County Sheriff's Office, but Port Angeles Police, Sequim Police, Lower Elwha Clallam Tribal Police, and the Washington State Patrol. Search warrants have been obtained so detailed processing of the scene can be conducted, and interviews of witnesses are continuing. Washington State Patrol Lab Crime Scene Response Team is responding to assist with the scene. The Clallam County Prosecutor's Office and Coroner's Office are also participating in the response. Startup air shuttle company Dash Air expects to begin using their aircraft for limited charter service starting in mid-July and into early August. Company President Clint Osler said in an email that they plan to launch a limited schedule of regular flights to SeaTac on August 11th. Osler said they are still waiting on an official decision from the DOT following last year's complaints to the U.S. Department of Transportation from Kenmore Air claiming unfair competition. He said in the meantime, they are going to follow the guidelines for their type of operation as, quote, if we didn't have an interstate operating restriction. Osler said they've had a few meetings with the DOT since May, illustrating their operation is no different than Kenmore Air prior to them receiving DOT authority, and cited 4 other airlines that operated in a similar fashion. He said they're hopeful they can get a favorable decision by the end of summer. Someone threw an explosive into one of the toilets at Erickson Playfield Wednesday and destroyed it, so the bathrooms are closed for repair. That's only one of what city officials are calling a rash of vandalisms in public restrooms just since school got out. Parks and Rec Director Corey Delicott says he and city workers in that same bathroom doing maintenance just minutes before the explosion.
We were probably there for 2-3 hours yesterday, and then after they left, 20 minutes later, we got a call about the explosion of the toilet. So I believe we've got hit again today in another restroom somewhere in town. I'm not sure where, but it's one of those things that happens every year, and the reason why we close our restrooms at noon on 4th of July, because one year we had, I want to say, between 14 to 17 toilets blown up. And so that's the reason why we do that on the 4th of July.
Portable toilets will be used in the park until repairs can be made. Coincidentally, Delicott said they were going to close those bathrooms for remodeling over the holiday weekend anyway, while the Lincoln Park BMX folks do some repairs on the pump track, but that doesn't excuse what has become an expensive annual issue around the 4th of July. And a 34-year-old Port Angeles man was indicted Wednesday by a federal grand jury for 2 counts of sexual abuse of a minor. The man has been detained since his arrest on June 15th. According to records filed in the case, in April and June of last year, the suspect met up with a 15-year-old who he had communicated with on a social media app. In the first encounter, he is alleged to have sexually molested the teen. In the second encounter, carrying a machete and a pocket knife, he allegedly raped the youth. The 15-year-old cut off all communication with the suspect and ultimately reported his conduct to a healthcare provider. An investigation by the U.S. Park Service determined that the alleged assaults took place on a portion of Olympic National Park land where federal courts have jurisdiction. Sexual abuse of a minor is punishable by up to 15 years in prison. The charges contained in the indictment are only allegations, so KONP has elected not to release the suspect's name. KONP News Time is 6:41. End-of-life decisions are hard. Be it pre-planning or sudden loss, you need to have an advocate in your corner, which is why I wholeheartedly recommend Drennan and Ford Funeral Home and Crematory in Port Angeles, the only locally owned funeral home and crematory in Clallam County. Their expertise ensures a smooth process so you can focus on healing and being with your loved ones. Their help through the darkest time in my life will forever stay with me. Call 360-457-1210.
Building your own house can be both an exciting and an overwhelming experience. The most important aspect of your new home's construction is to have the right relationships supporting you from the beginning. That's where the employee owners at Angelus Millwork and Hartnagels really shine. We've been supplying the highest quality building materials for homes on the Olympic Peninsula for over 100 years. We create relationships with our clients that are based on the right materials for their lifestyle and their budget, not our bottom line. After securing your property and your home builder, we invite you to visit one of our 6 contractor salespeople devoted solely to new home construction and remodels. They will help you and your builder make sure that all your materials maximize value, are ordered correctly, and are delivered on time. When clients partner with Angelus Millwork and Hartnagels to build their own home, we ensure that the process is filled with knowledge, tools, and materials to truly create the home you've been dreaming about for years.
Angelus Millwork and Hartnagel Building Supply. Building homes, building community since 1906.
Don't miss an unforgettable grand opening July 29th and 30th at Field Arts and Events Hall in Port Angeles. Free aerial performances from Bandaloop Vertical Dance Company, soulful melodies from Grammy Award-winning legend Diane Shore, Gullah-inspired music from South Carolina quintet Ranky Tanky, and high-energy Japanese taiko drumming and dance with Unit Suzu. Learn more at www.fieldhallevents.org.
If you want to see an animal that's right up close to you, Olympic Game Farm is the place. You'll find this ain't no zoo. See the bears that are actors and buffalo as big as tractors at the Olympic Game Farm in Squim.
Here's your Newsradio KONP forecast. Partly cloudy skies today with a high of 65. Northwesterly winds 10 to 15 miles an hour. Lows level off around 51 tonight. Mainly clear skies. Mainly clear skies and quiet again tomorrow. Daytime highs approaching 65. That's a look at your forecast, powered by weatherology.com. I'm Derek Height. Currently, it's 53 degrees.
All right, let's have a look at our community calendar, see what's going on in our area. By the way, just spoiler alert, there is a bunch going on in our area. The North Olympic Library System offers weekly summer family story time now through August 4th. As part of the summer reading program, you can listen to great books, learn new songs, and shake your wiggles out with plenty of movement and fun. Storytime is open to all ages and geared towards children age 5 and younger, with activities such as talking, reading, playing, and singing that all have an important role in early childhood development. You can learn more at knowles.org, NOLS.org/storytime. That actually sounds super fun. The Squim Guild of Seattle Children's Hospital is having their flea market mega bake sale at the flea market tomorrow, July 1st from 8 to 3. That's going to be in Squim. The Squim Guild of Seattle Children's Hospital sponsoring the mega bake sale. It's on the corner of Highway 101 and Kitchen Dick from 8 to 3 or until sold out. 2 booths will be dedicated entirely to the homemade cookies, pies, breads, jams, and jellies, and more that the Guild is famous for. Prices range from $8 to $15. And as always, all proceeds go to uncompensated care and research at Seattle Children's. Look for the bright red canopies. Such an incredible cause. I love it. Also, the North Olympic Library System is excited to offer Discovery Club for kids in grades K through 5 and their families and caregivers. Returning for a second year, this popular free program features a different hands-on activity each week with time to meet new friends and try new things. Activities include art, writing, performance, music, STEAM, and community building. Visit knowles.org/discovery to find out details. You know, the North Olympic Library System website is a wealth of information and things going on for the youth in our area. Whether you choose to dance, listen, or sing along with the music, please come out and enjoy the majestic main ballroom at the Naval Elks Lodge in Port Angeles on Saturday, July 1st, which is tomorrow, from 6 to 8:30. Enjoy Buttercup Lane. Buttercup Lane members each have an extensive background in music, and they cover music from several genres, including classic rock and roll, blues, pop, country, big band, swing, and jazz. You can head out to the ballroom at the Naval Elks Lodge in Port Angeles. The cover charge is $10 for Elk members, $12 for guests, and you are allowed to bring food in. Backyard Birding Purple Martins presenter Ken Weiserma and Dow Lambert is tomorrow. This is part one from 8:30 a.m. At 8:30 a.m. at the Tide Flats adjacent to 3 Crabs Road in Sequim. The current Backyard Birding series ends with this special program focused on North America's largest swallow, the purple martin. There is a $5 suggested donation. You can find out more about this event on our website at myclallamcounty.com in the Events tab. And don't forget, the city of Sequim is planning another huge day of events for July 4th. Let's see here. It's going to be at the water reuse site at Carrie Blake Park, also the big band shell as we know it, 202 North Blake Avenue in Sequim. If you're new to the area, by the way, welcome. This year's event coincides with Music in the Park, a free concert series that's offered every Tuesday. The Sequim City Band is going to kick off the celebration at 3 with a free concert at the James Center for the Performing Arts. The Buck Ellard Band will perform at 6 p.m. and Black Diamond Junction will be performing at 8 o'clock. The event will culminate with a 15-minute fireworks show at 10. Food and beverages are going to be available on site for purchase. Residents and visitors are encouraged to bring a camp chair or blanket and enjoy the community celebration. It is going to be a gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous day on the 4th of July, by the way. We're expecting to have highs near the 80s. However, I will tell you in the evening, the lows are going to be into the mid to upper 50s. So if you are planning on going to a 4th of July event, pack accordingly or take blankets and put them in your car so that as it cools down, you don't freeze. But it's going to be a beautiful day to celebrate our nation's independence. Also on July 4th from 9:30 to 4, the Port of Port Angeles invites the public to tour a visiting U.S. Navy destroyer at the port's Marine Terminal at the north end of Cedar Street. Please leave all firearms, weapons, and bags in your vehicle. These will not be permitted on board. And also make sure that on the evening of 4th of July, you tune into KONP to listen to the soundtrack of those fireworks. All right, we're going to have a brief message here from our sponsor of the community calendar, Angelus Electric.
Hi, this is Ken Simpson from Angelus Electric. Since 1954, it's been our pleasure to serve the area with professional, expert electrical service. We're sponsoring the KONP Community Calendar because we know that one of the strengths of our community is the terrific work being done by our civic groups, churches, and nonprofit organizations. Please help them and contribute whenever you can and support these groups helping to make our community a better place.
Labor contract. The walkout had threatened to disrupt output at plane makers Boeing and Airbus. The new contract includes improved health insurance, higher wages, and limits mandatory overtime. Pilots at Southwest move closer to a strike as its union asks to be freed from mediation. If mediators grant the union's request, pilots could walk off the job, but only after a 30-day cooling-off period. Still, the White House could delay a strike, or Congress could impose a settlement on both sides. JetBlue has joined United in pointing the finger at the FAA for delays leading up to the 4th of July holiday. The carrier blames the air traffic control system, but the government officials blame the weather. And space tourism officially has a new contender. Richard Branson's Virgin Galactic has sent paying customers to the edge of space for the first time. I'm Lisa Mateo, Bloomberg Radio.
All right, next up, we're going to look at a traffic report brought to us by Angelus Furniture.
The Beauty Rest Black 4th of July sale is going on now at Angelus Furniture, but only until July 10th. Get up to $900 off select Beauty Rest Black adjustable sets. You'll also get up to $800 off on Beautyrest Harmony Luxe adjustable sets during the sale. Get the refreshing sleep you deserve today on your new Beautyrest mattress. But the discounts won't last forever. Stop by Angela's Furniture before July 10th to take advantage of 4th of July sale savings at Angela's Furniture.
Radio KONP, traffic and roads.
All right, let's head up to Clallam Transit and check in with Karen this morning, see how things are going. Good morning, Karen.
Good morning. Yeah, we have no reported issues or problems on our roadways in our area. The Hood Canal Bridge is open, all vehicle traffic, with no scheduled closures at this time. All of our Clallam Transit buses are on their regular routes, and we have started the Hurricane Ridge shuttle. We started that last Tuesday, and it's been very popular. So it is first come, first serve, and there may be standing room only, so just be aware of that. For the ferry information, go to your WSDOT website for some real-time info. And this is Karen live at Clallam Transit for KONP.
Thank you, Karen. Also, as a reminder, if you're just tuning in, you can log on to myclallamcounty.com. It is your one-click destination for Olympic Peninsula travel updates. Right across the top, you're going to see a travel alerts tab. It's going to give you a one-page resource to check all of the links for ferry schedules, for your traffic, for your bridges, all of the things. So make sure you check that out, courtesy here of KONP. As always, anything you read on our website, news, events, sports, national news, anything, that is free of charge for you, the consumer. All right, well, let's check in real quick and find out what's going on in the world of entertainment, thanks to Jason Nathanson.
ABC Entertainment News.
I've seen things.
Indiana Jones is off on his final adventure. The latest and last film in the franchise is finally in theaters this weekend, with 80-year-old star Harrison Ford saying Indiana is old. And it shows.
And I think that's fantastic, to have an older person in an action movie, to see him try to be the same person that he used to be, but he's not.
Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny also stars Phoebe Waller-Bridge, and it's the only Indiana Jones film not directed by Steven Spielberg. It's in theaters now. Also opening wide this weekend,
I am having a panic attack!
the animated Ruby Gillman Teenage Kraken aims to give Pixar's Elemental a little competition. Indiana Jones is expected to top the box office. Supermodel Naomi Campbell is a mom again, welcoming a baby boy. She also has a 2-year-old daughter, and actress Lizzie Kaplan is 41 today. Jason Nathanson, ABC News, Hollywood.
Madonna is out of the hospital following a serious infection that had derailed her world tour. More from ABC's Jason Nathanson.
Madonna is at home and feeling better after a health scare that had her hospitalized for a couple of days. A source close to the singer's camp confirms to ABC News that Madonna is out of the hospital following what we're told was a serious bacterial infection, which landed her in the ICU. The infection was serious enough that she had to postpone her upcoming Celebration World Tour, which was set to kick off July 15th in Vancouver.
All right, well, stick around. We've got lots more coming up, such as tech trends, a better life, and more.
From ABC News, tech trends, Hyundai's latest electric vehicle already won World Car of the Year. Now it's notching another win. Car and Driver editor-in-chief Tony Quiroga says his magazine's EV of the Year is the Hyundai Ioniq 6.
It's a quick car. The dual motor does 60 in 4.3. It's just a fantastic car, really great piece of design, and it's somewhat attainable at $45,000.
He says the electric sedan's success is significant in a market that's been favoring SUVs and crossovers.
You're not punching as big a hole through the air, so that's one of the factors that allows the Ioniq 6 to have that really long range of 361 miles.
He says while the EV market is still small, this year's contenders have made improvements in 2 key metrics.
Cars are going farther and they're taking less time to charge, which is exactly where they need to be if they're going to be on par in terms of usability and practicality with their internal combustion engine competition.
With Tech Trends, I'm Mike Dubusky, ABC News.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. The IRS just rolled out a new program to help struggling taxpayers more easily resolve their tax problems. It's called the Taxpayer Relief Initiative, and it opens up powerful new options for people looking to get back on the right track with the IRS. And no one knows this program like the professionals at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution company. They've resolved over $1 billion in tax debt for their clients and have the expertise and experience to help you. One easy call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries of wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Make today the beginning of your fresh start with the IRS. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief now for your free confidential consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
A better life with Dr. Sanjay Gupta.
The general consensus is that coffee in moderation is good for you. But so few things in life are all good or all bad, and coffee is no exception. There's this small new study out of UCSF which found people who drank coffee took about 1,000 more steps per day than people who didn't. That's good. But in the bad news bucket, they slept about a half an hour less a night than people who didn't drink coffee. So what are you to make